What's up, everybody? It's your best average gamer, and today we're doing a Sorc build on ESO. I call this build the dots and proc build because we're going to be applying a lot of dots and using a proc set and a proc skills, so this is one of my favorite builds that I've ever created. I hope everybody likes it. I'm going to show you guys the stats first off. These are kind of what I'm rocking with here. Not buffed. I do use food. I'll show you guys the food that I run. I normally use the crown just because it gives you so much of everything, but there's a lot of different stuff you can use. Since this is mainly a Battlegrounds build, you can use anything that's really going to give you Magicka and health, but if you can find something that'll give you Magicka, health, and stam, that's even better. So I run the Icy Conjuror staff. It's very important that you get the Inferno staff on this set just because the way that we are going to be applying our procs and our dots, the Inferno is actually going to proc the Icy Conjurer for us. As you can see down here, blah blah blah, Icy Wrath will charge it into your enemy, dealing 24,000 frost damage over 10 seconds. So that's something that we're going to be trying to proc a lot, and burning damage will actually proc this. So having the Inferno staff will just proc it automatically. So this is really awesome. This set came out a year or so ago, and I remember grinding for it when it first came out, and it really sucked. Luckily the dungeon's a little bit easier now. I think that the drop is a little bit easier. So get a couple friends with you, or a couple guild members maybe, have everybody grind it out, and you can get a staff eventually. Don't worry about that. But I'm gonna run Potent as on my back bar. This is awesome because it reduces your damage taken from players by 3%. I do the powered on it because it increases the healing and all that. So you really want to. This is a great resto staff. So it sucks that they're not letting it really do anything in Cyrodiil right now, so we're not going to be using this in Cyrodiil, but then again, this is a Battleground build, so we're not going to even really get into that. But I like to run this Valkyn Skoria. You can run Grothdar too if you want, but because this is a dots and proc set, I really like the Valkyn Skoria because it procs off of other dots, so it literally goes off of the name. Anytime you apply a dot to somebody, burning damage, we're going to have 3 dot spells that we're going to place. All of those are going to have a chance to cast Meteor, and Meteor does 10,000 damage, and also it does 3,500 damage to all enemies in the area, so it does a little bit of AoE effect too. So I really like this this monster set for this build because it procs kind of a lot, and I get it to go off in every Battlegrounds game at least 3 or 4 times, I would say. This is a cheap set. You can normally get somebody in your guild to build it for you. This is a good set just because it gives you spell crit and maximum magicka, so it increases your damage by a lot, and that's what we're doing on this build. This is a glass cannon build. We're trying to do a lot of damage without taking a lot. We're going to be trying to get away from people, streaking in and out, so this is perfect for that. So we're going to... You can kind of see how I have this set up. I have my monster set on my helmet and my shoulder, and then all of my armor is Julianos. And my Icy Conjurer staff is on my main hand, and then all Icy rings and jewelry. Jewelry's very expensive to upgrade to gold. As you can see, I don't even have mine to all the purple, so don't even, if you can get the blue for this, that's good. If you can have somebody who can help you upgrade, that's even better, but it's very expensive to upgrade, and I have a bunch of builds that I use, so blue is fine for me. You definitely want to run impenetrable. That's one thing I want to mention. See my traits on all of my armor, it's in pin. That is gonna make it so you take significantly less damage in Battlegrounds games. I also will mention that I like to run tripods. You don't have to run tripods because they're expensive as well. If you want to just run health pots, you can run health pots too, or if you want to get a potion that does health and Magicka, you can do that. But health pots are nice just because it gives you that nice little jump whenever you're getting low. But tripods are definitely just the best pots in the game, obviously. Everybody loves those. So now that we're done with the gear, we're gonna jump kind of into the skills here. This is our front bar, and Crushing Shock is gonna be our spam. We're gonna use this morph off of the Destruction Staff spell because the interruption and the stuns are just they're too good. When people are casting at you or people are charging you, you have a very high chance to interrupt them or set them off balance, and that gives you time to honestly just shred their health down. And if they get too close, we are going to be able to streak away. Degeneration is awesome because it applies major sorcery and increases your spell damage. This is a mage guild spell, and this is also really important because all of the passives in Mage's Guild are important too, so we're gonna want to get all of those for sure. Haunting Curse is awesome. This is a dot. These are both dots I would like to mention, actually. Degeneration and Haunting Curse. These are both dots, so these are going to be kind of part of our dot and proc set. And so this is our second dot that we're going to place. This one does like a little bit of damage, but then it pops and does a lot of damage. So it's really cool because people will forget that they have it on, and after about 8 seconds they'll just pop and they'll take like a big chunk of damage, which is really nice for people who are trying to run away from you or just to get a good engage on somebody. Streak is one of my favorite spells in the game. One of the best Sorc spells. What makes casting as a Sorc so good. This is going to allow you to just basically jump through people. You teleport through them, and everybody that you teleport through is stunned. You can stun everybody on one team, turn around, and just nuke everybody. It's great. I love this. It's good for engaging. You can jump on somebody and stun them, or you can wait for somebody to jump on you and streak away. This is a great spell. The stun works really well, and it's very effective. It's one of the best stuns in the game. If you think I'm wrong, you can tell me a different one, but I think that really is one of the better stuns in the game. Crystal Frags is our proc spell I was talking about at the beginning of the video. We're only gonna want to cast this when it's procced, and when it's procced, that icon right there that's blue is actually going to turn red where our skills are. So it's not going to be that blue orb on our skill bar. It's going to actually turn into a red orb. And basically what it does when it's procced is this spell kind of has a long casting time. You spin your hands in a circle and then you like create this orb and you cast it at your enemy. But when it's procced, you just launch it straight out. You just launch it straight out of your hand and right into the person you're aimed at, so you don't have to wait on that long spell casting time. So, and this does a lot of damage. This is going to be kind of one of our finishers. You don't have to use it right away whenever it's procced. If you think that person's getting low, you can maybe spam them a little bit and then use it as kind of a finisher. This does a lot of damage. I will say though that if you're not necessarily good at the procs and you want to run this build with not all the proc, or not with the proc spell at least, you can run Mage's Wrath. Mage's Wrath is still pretty good. It's another dot, so it's not a proc, so it still kind of goes into this build a little bit. It's another dot, so it'll get your meteor to come off of your Valkyn Skoria monster set still, but this does a lot of damage when people are below 20% health. This is a great finisher. The only reason I don't like it as much as Crystal Frags is because Crystal Frags I use a lot more because it procs often, and I don't like waiting until 20% health to use a certain spell. I'd like to be able to use Crystal Frags whenever I want because it does so much damage. I really prefer Crystal Frags, but a lot of people do use Mage's Wrath, and that's not the right choice too. So our ultimate is gonna be Greater Storm Anarch, or sorry, Atron Arc. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I'm sorry, guys, but this is a great spell. It's kind of similar to Meteor, where it drops and does a lot of damage, but since it's a summon, it does so much damage. You can kite around it. I love dropping this on teams to engage, because I can stun everybody in the group, and then whoever I'm kind of focused on, he'll attack too. So I use this one, this morph off of it, because of how much longer he lasts and how much more damage he does. And I just kind of play around this guy. I kite around him, and every time he's up, I use him. You want to use him as much as you can. He comes back really quick. On our back bar for our Resto staff, we're going to do Rapid Regeneration. You can do either morph on this. This is the heal for the Restoration staff. You can do either morph on this. This one I use for Battlegrounds because it heals you for more on a half as much time. The other morph is going to heal more people, so you can heal your allies, which is really helpful. It actually is a really good spell to still use, but it's across 10 seconds, so it doesn't heal quite as fast. So for Battlegrounds, only using 3 other teammates, I really prefer using this one because it's more of a spam heal for me. But either morph is alright with this. You can get away with both. And this Harness Magicka is really important because it comes from the light armor set. You don't get this from any of the mage stuff. It comes from literally the light armor. You can see this right here. It's great. This is just a awesome shield. A lot of people use it. You can read what it does. It gives you Magicka back as you take damage, so it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a good shield. This is your last dot that we're going to talk about, Soul Trap. The only reason this is on here is just because it's a dot. This is on the back bar. I do use it to engage a lot, especially whenever I'm running up to groups. I'll kind of go through my my rotation with you guys here in a second. I'll run up to something and try to kill it. This is just another dot. It doesn't do anything special. It just does damage. Boundless Storm, you're going to want to always have this on. This is going to be one of your buffs. These last 2 spells right here, my LB and RB, are both buffs. They are both sorcerer spells, and that's why they're so good. They apply Major Brutality, Sorcerer. This one increases your speed and gives you Major Resolve, increases your resistances. These are so important. If you're a Sorc and you're not running these on your buffs, you're just not honestly doing it right. And we're going to do this on our back bar too. You can do another healing one if you want. If you have problems staying alive, you could do something like this. Or you could maybe do, I'm trying to think of something else that would be good. You could maybe do the Storm Calling Overlord one. A lot of people like that, but that one's more for damage and AoE, so I really wouldn't recommend that one. If you're going to run anything, I would just say stick to this healing one. If you're having trouble staying alive and you want to use your back bar as strictly buffs, heals, and stuff like that, then you can. But I like to be able to buff and drop my ulti if I want. One more thing I want to talk about while we're still doing skills here is every time you put a skill into something, you're going to want to get all of the passives. So like right here on the Destruction Staff, you can see that I've only got this spell. I don't have anything else, but I have all of the passives for it. These are really important, and they just increase so much stuff. You can go into them and read everything that they do, but every time you get a spell, you're going to want to kind of look at these passives. You're like here, I'll show you my Mages Guild one. My Mages Guild one is the same way. I've got one skill in here, but I have all the passives other than Persuasive Will because I just don't need that one. Another thing you're gonna want to get. Wow, see, I just redid my skills, so I forgot about these. But you're gonna want to get all of your race skills too. You can see I still have 47 points because I just redid my stat or skills. So, but you're gonna want all of these. These give you so much. I really like the Breton for Sorc because it gives you all of these resistances. It gives you reduced Magicka costs, and it gives you an increased Magicka or max Magicka. So I like the Breton. There's a couple other choices you could do, but Breton really is it's the best for Sorc in my opinion. You could maybe do High Elf if you wanted to, just for straight damage, but this is gonna help with Magicka and casting, and I really like those. But now that we're kind of done with this, I will hop out of Cyrodiil here and kind of show you guys my rotations. Alright, now that I'm in this other area, there's actually something I forgot to mention. We want to get your Undaunted. You want these as well. These kind of take a while to get to, so you may not be able to get this passive for a little bit because getting on your Undaunted leveled up all the way takes a while. But what this does is it just gives you extra stamina, health, and Magicka based off of if you're wearing each type of armor. So if you're wearing at least one piece of heavy, one piece of medium, and one piece of light, you can get up to 6% bonus, as you can see I have, which is why my my gear is set up with light, heavy, one heavy right here, light, 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 one medium right here, and another light. Where most people will run all light gear with their Sorc, once you get your Undaunted leveled up, this allows you to be able to run one of each, one heavy and one medium, and you get those extra resistances for using the heavy gear because those just give you more armor and stuff, but it also gives you the Undaunted passives, so that's good too. Alright, I kind of brought you guys to my house here just so we can go to my dummy and I can show you all my rotation. So this is my dummy. We're gonna start off by we're gonna apply both of our buffs, and then we're going to press B, apply that dot, then B, press our other dot, Y again to place all three dots. That's how you have all three dots. And you saw that our Icy Conjurer actually was procced, and so was Meteor. So there, right there, were two spells that were procced that I didn't even cast. The fish that flew out of my body was the Icy Conjurer that is procced from my staff, and the meteor that flew out of the sky was also procced. So those are kind of what we're trying to do a lot, and as you can see, that's just kind of a great example of how much it gets procced on all of that stuff, because I wasn't even trying to do it. I was just trying to show you guys my rotation there, and they both got procced. So we're going to do this again, and I'm going to include my spam and crystal frags at the end. So once again, we're gonna apply both our buffs. B to press that one. B again. Y. RB because crystal frag is procced. Then we're gonna spam X, spam X, spam X, spam X, and then you're gonna go ahead and do RB again. So that's your basic. That's your basic rotation. I actually did hit crystal frags once. When it wasn't procced, and that's just because I was kind of talking, but I normally don't do that. I'm going to kind of show you again this time on another rotation, but this time I'm also going to include some of these basic attacks like this, because if you throw in some basic attacks in between your spams, it just applies some more damage. So again, we're going to buff, place our dots, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to crystal frags is proc, so we're gonna kind of see. You can see I did that. My GPS is low, but that's just because I'm showing you guys. I can normally get it a lot higher. This is a PvP set though, so we're not trying to go really high like they do for dungeons and stuff like that. Basically, all we're trying to do is try to, as long as it's above 15k, that's really good for BGs, and I'm not configured for combat. As long as we're getting it that high, we're fine. I think I'm a little laggy here. Goodbye, Apollo. That was 18k, but I keep on missing my proc, so I don't know what it is here.
Integral functions reinitiating. Whatever are you doing? Do cease and desist. Forgive me, Lord Celestial.
Yeah, that time was better. As you can see, I got 23k. That was with my ulti too, but ultis are part of the game, and even without dropping my ulti at that time, the rotation kind of hit a little bit better, and I was able to proc my frags every single time correctly. A little less lag there that time. I'm just kind of messing around right now. I'm just playing while I'm talking. But that's kind of my good rotation, is about 20k is what I sit with about my ulti, and I just got 18k right there messing around talking to you guys. But that's pretty much the end of my video. Thanks for watching. I will post a video of me running this build in a Battlegrounds if you guys want to watch. I go pretty hard with this build. I'll post a video of me playing a couple games so you guys can see what it's all about.
So this is how it ends.